Okay, let's start. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnavarind Ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol. Okay, so yesterday we discussed that everyone were saying that even Dasharath Maharaj, other queens, Lakshmana, they all said they were all forcing Rama to stay, and they were saying to forcibly take the throne of the king, but Rama he denied. Then Rama and Lakshmana, they wore the bark dress, and Vasishtha Muni prevented Sita Devi from wearing the dress, and she was walking like a queen itself. And now Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they were ready to go to forests. And Sita Devi was already adorned with nice jewelries. Valmiki Maharshi says that she was shining just like a rising sun in the morning. And Kausalya Devi, she embraced Sita Devi. And with motherly love, she gave lot of instructions and told. So one of the first instruction is, the dishonest woman, they stop respecting their husband if who has become old and passing his last days, unfortunate days. So even though if the husband would have shown deep love and respect to such woman throughout his life, a dishonest woman, unchaste woman stops respecting the husband. Esha swabhavo narinam anubhuya pura sukham alpamapyapapadam prapya dushyanti prajahatyapi. So when those dishonest and unchaste women, when they are totally immersed in the material happiness, they become spoiled. And when they are put in even into a small difficulties, they abandon their husband. Such women are unstable in their heart. But for women established in good conduct, truthfulness, learning the scriptures, she's able to compose herself, mental quietness. To such a chaste woman, their husband is the most sacred entity, the best of all. Now, why she's giving all this instructions? Because she's saying, because now Kausalya Devi explains that now my son, that means your husband, he's been banished to the forest in evil ways. So you should never look down upon him that he's talentless or he's worthless or unqualified. Whether Rama is with riches or without riches, it doesn't matter. You should respect him and he should be your worshipable deity to you. So, just to explain this further, why she's saying all this is, see, imagine whatever is happening with Rama and Lakshmana is the same thing is happening to to some material family. Suppose there is a father and he has two sons, and so whatever he has, his wealth and prosperity, everything, it has to be equally distributed to both the sons. But imagine if the father gives away everything to the younger son and asks the elder son to go to forest and live. Do you think he will agree to it? No, there will be a great fight. So even if the eldest son is very faithful to his father and he agrees, sure, father, let all these things, let my brother take it and I'll go to the forest. But what will the wife of the eldest son say? She may not agree. But if she is so pious like Sita, then she will follow him. But if not, then she'll not follow. Instead, she will shout at her husband, "You don't know anything. You don't have any talent. You're a foolish person. You're ineffective." She defames her husband. So the husband becomes very cheap in the eyes of the wife. So that's why Kausalya is telling indirectly that the current situation may look as if your husband is deprived of all this kingly position and is deprived of all the wealth. But don't think Rama is unworthy. Never look down upon him. He's always worshipped. He should be always worshipped by you as the Lord of your life. Now Sita Maya, she is replying, "My dear mother-in-law, I will do exactly what you have instructed me to do. Whatever you have said, I have already learned all those from my parents in my birthplace. I will never give any kind of distress to your son. In fact, I'll never be a burden to him. And you know why I'm going with Rama to the forest? Because to make him happy in the forest, so that he will forget any kind of distress or pain or sorrow. Na atantri vadyate veena, na achakraha vartate ratha, na apatihi sukham edhate ya syat, apishata atmaja." So she is saying how close she is with the Lord. That too in the mood of the conjugal love. So she's saying that a veena, a musical instrument, veena, just like it's a long, how guitar have the strings, like that veena is a long, classical music instrument used in India. So it also has strings, chords. How veena does not resonate without the chords, how the chariot does not move without the wheels. Now, when a wife is bereft of her husband, even if she is blessed with hundreds of children, she will not be happily living in the comfort. And she gives so many things. She says so many other things. Yes, as how a chaste wife should follow her husband. So hearing all those words of Sita, now Kausalya Devi, she sheds tears. And those tears are of both agony and delight. Why agony? Because for the whole situation that's happening. And why happy? Because Sita Devi is properly situated in the right understanding. And then Rama then approaches his mother and says, "Mother, you don't grieve this way. You take care of my father. And it is just 14 years. So the end of my exile will come very soon. These 14 years will elapse just like a dream. So you will see me returning happily." Etavad abhinita artham uktva sa jananim vachaha trayah shatashata ardhahi dadarsha avekshe mataraha. This is the place where the Valmiki Maharshi mentions the number of wives of Dasharatha Maharaj. Trayah shata. Trayah shata ardha. That means the Trayaha Shata, 300. Shata is 100, Trayaha is 3. Shata Ardha, that means Ardha means half, half of 100, so 50. So after talking to his mother Kausalya, now Rama, he joined his palms, paid obeisances to Dasharatha Maharaj, 350 wives. And he spoke to them, my dear mothers, please forgive me. If I have done any mistake due to my ignorance on my part, please forgive me. And I would like to take leave from all of you. And those mothers, except Kaikeyi, they were all grief-stricken. They couldn't tolerate this and were crying out loud like a female crane bird. Jagnye athatasam samnadaha kraunchinam iva nihsvanaha. As a female crane bird, when she cries, she makes the sound of a cry when she loses her partner. That's how all the queens were crying. Earlier, Dasharatha Maharaj palace was resounding with various auspicious instruments, musical instruments, drums, kettle drums, all the classical musical instruments. But now it is filled with the loud of the sound of cry of all the people there. Then Rama and Lakshmana, they pay obeisances to Dasharatha Maharaj by touching his feet, and then they circumambulated him. They did pradakshina, with joined palms. Then similarly, they bow down to Kausalya Devi again, and Lakshmana, he bowed at the feet of Sumitra. Sumitra is the mother of Lakshmana. Then Sumitra Devi also blesses him and gives him very valuable instructions. She said, see, Lakshmana, it looks like, Lakshmana, you have been born for this exile of Rama to forest. So never ever neglect your brother. Always serve him very nicely. Serve both the couple, Sita and Rama, very nicely. Whether in happiness or in distress, Rama is your refuge or shelter. So always take shelter of him. Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi, Mam Vidhi, Janakatmajam, Ayodhya Matavim Vidhi, Gachatat Yatha Sukham. She's saying, consider Lord Sri Rama as your father Dasharatha. Consider Sita Devi as myself, as your mother. Wherever they are, consider that place as Ayodhya, and you happily go along with Sita and Rama and come back very safely. So now the Sumantra, who is the Prime Minister, he brings the chariot and requests Sita, Rama, Lakshmana to board the chariot. And after mounting onto the chariot, they sat on the chariot. Then Sumantra, he quickly started the chariot. And all the Ayodhya Vasis, the citizens of Ayodhya, they are crying aloud that Lord Sri Rama is leaving and going. So those who are performing the sacrifices, they stop the sacrifice in between, which should never be done. And if a sacrifice is started, it should never be stopped in between. They started running behind Rama. Women, old age people, youngsters, children, all are crying out loud. They're crying out Rama, 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 Sita, Ram, Lakshman, and then they are running behind the chariot. And the chariot, it slowly departed. Okay. And as it slowly started, even the birds, the animals, they stopped feeding their babies. Birds are standing in their nests and they are shedding the tears. Horses in the stables, elephants in their shelters, they are also weeping and crying. They are making loud noises of crying. And they are running here and there within their shelters like mad animals. And hot tears are falling from their eyes. Valmiki Maharshi says, hot tears. See, when you are in agony, when you are in pain, anger, the tears will be hot. But when you are happy, the tears will be cold. Very happy ecstasy, and out of happiness you cry, then those tears will be cold. So now all the citizens they are walking towards Rama's chariot, and it is mentioned how the plight of the Ayodhya Vasis, the citizens. Valmiki Maharshi says that just like a person who is dehydrated with the heat of the sun, how he rushes towards the water, like that all the citizens of Ayodhya, they were rushing towards the chariot, and they're shouting, Sumantra, you go slowly, we want to see Rama, we want to behold his lotus face in our hearts. So if you're going fast, it is becoming difficult for us to behold that face. And they are thinking, certainly the heart of Kausalya and Dasharatha, undoubtedly it is it's made of iron. Why? Because it's not getting broken when Rama is leaving the forest, like the citizens are thinking. And they are all glorifying Sita and Lakshmana. You see how chaste wife she is. She is very nicely executing her duties. She has decided to follow her husband, which is not necessary, but she has decided to follow. Lakshmana is also going along with Sitaram to do all the services. And they are saying, they are blessing Lakshmana, your purpose is accomplished. So it is a great fortune, tremendous fortune, good fortune for you to follow Sita and Rama. So they were all talking like this, and they couldn't control their tears. And now Dasharatha Maharaj, he said he wanted to see Rama for one last time. And the chariot had already slowly departing. So the king and the Kausalya, they started following Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, the chariot by foot. And the king is shouting at the prime minister, stop the chariot, I'm an old man, I'm not able to run. Kausalya Devi is also weeping and asked to stop. But Rama, he commanded his charioteer, who is Sumantra, you drive the chariot fast. But the people are saying to stop. Those people are coming on the way. And it is Valmiki Maharshi mentions, as the chariot was going, automatic, because it's a mud road, the dust which is raised on the road due to the movement of chariot was suppressed by the falling tears of the citizens. So when there is a dusty wind, okay, and when there is a rain that falls, automatically all the dust settles on the ground and atmosphere becomes very fresh and clean. So like that, the dust is settling on the ground by the tears of the citizens of Ayodhya. And Dasharatha Maharaj is the first time he is seeing. He came out, right, one day. Since all this happened, he has never came out of the chambers of Kaikeyi. For the first time, he came out and he's seeing that the entire city is lamenting. And Maharaj, he fell down with agony. And just like a tree which is uprooted when there is a typhoon or a cyclone. And again, the people near Dasharatha Maharaj, they saw that Maharaj fell down, and they also started crying even louder, even more louder. And they shouted, oh, my dear Maharaj, Dasharatha Maharaj, oh, Kausalya Devi. So Rama at a distance, he heard, and he looked back, and he saw how his father and mother are weeping, and they're following him on the foot. They become so old. So Rama couldn't bear this scene. So he told Sumantra, you drive fast. I'm not able to see the situation. But Sumantra could not drive fast because so many people were covering the roads. Pratyagara mivayanti vatsala vatsakaranat baddhavatsa yathadhenu Ramamata bhyadhavat. That time, Kausalya Devi, Rama's mother, she's running towards the chariot, towards her son, just as a mother cow runs home after grazing the whole day, how she runs home for her calf to give milk, like that Kausalya Devi is running towards Rama. Tatha rudantim Kausalyam ratham tam anudhavatim kroshantim Rama Rama iti hasite Lakshmane iti cha Rama Lakshmana Sitartham Shravantim Varinetrajam Asakrat Praikshata tada Nrityantim Iva Madaram. And Rama is seeing again and again the same Kausalya, his mother, who is crying and running after the chariot, and as though she's dancing and shouting, Rama, Rama, oh, ha Sita, ha Lakshmana. And she's shedding the tears from her eyes. Now, as she's trying, running, and the people are trying to control her, but she's pushing them away and trying to run behind the chariot. And behind her, Dasharath Maharaj, he's also trying to run and shouting, you stop the chariot. And his Rama was not able to see that plight. So he said, Sumantra, this is my final order. You ride the chariot fast. Go fast. I'm not able to see this. And Sumantra is saying, I'm confused. Please tell me what to do. I'm confused. The people are asking to stop. Everyone are asking me to stop. And you're ordering me. Then Rama say, see, you drive fast. And when you return, if they all ask you, why did you not stop when we were all requesting, tell them everything was so loud that you could not hear them. So that is why you rode the chariot fast. So Sumantra, he drove the horses more faster. And all the people of the palace and Ayodhya, they circumambulated Rama in their minds. As Rama was disappearing from that place, in their minds, they circumambulated Rama. And this way, Rama, he left us to some distance, and Dasharatha Maharaj was also running. He was running, then falling down, again getting up, again running, and again falling down. So meanwhile, the ministers, they came and told to Dasharatha, they were also weeping. They said, Maharaj, we should not follow Sita, Rama, Lakshmana to a longer distance if we wish to see them back. So then Maharaj, he stopped. And along with all his wives, he was gazing at his son Rama. And this is a very difficult chapter, these two chapters, where how each inhabitant, either in palace or Ayodhya, they're crying out loud. And even the animals, like elephants, they threw out whatever food they were taking in their mouth, they just threw it out. Cows did not give milk to their calves. And it's mentioned mothers did not rejoice for giving birth to a son for the first time. Normally, like after a long time, they did not have a children. But if a mother has given birth, she'll feel very happy. But even in such mothers who gave birth for the first time, after a long period of time, even she did not feel happy. Mothers did not give milk to their babies. Nobody cooked food in the whole city. Everyone were crying. Brahmanas, they stopped worshipping and the temples were closed. Even the constellation of stars were looking depressed. There was no twinkling of stars. The whole city of Ayodhya city was shaken when Rama left. It is mentioned that sons, they did not ask for their mothers, husband did not ask for their wives, brothers did not inquire about their sisters. So they gave up everything in the thought of Rama. So as long as the dust was raised by the wheels of Rama's chariot could be seen, that long the king, he gazed at the chariot. When the dust was no longer visible, that king, he fell on the ground unconscious. So when Dasharath Maharaj fell down, Kausalya, his wife, took her place on the right side to lift him up, and Kaikeyi took her place on his left side. Then King Dasharath Maharaj, he looking at Kaikeyi beside him, pushed her and shouted at her, "Oh, you wicked Kaikeyi, don't even touch me. I don't want to see you any longer. You are no more my wife, nor a relative. All that contract during our marriage, that I gave while we were circumambulating around the fire, I'm renouncing that. So you have lost the eligibility to be my wife. You go away. I'm sure to die with this grief." And if Bharata feels cheerful for getting this kingdom, then he should not perform any kind of death rituals, to me. So he gave that order. Because in his heart, he knows Bharata would not feel like that. But he said, if he feels any kind of happiness or cheerfulness, he should not perform my death rites. So meanwhile, Kausalya Devi, she was also overwhelmed with grief. She lifted up the king, who was covered with dust, and then she returned to her house. But Dasharath Maharaj was turning again and again towards those tracts, as chariot goes, the tracts are on the ground. So he was looking again and again towards those tracts and thinking of his son. And he understood by that, by the dust, that he has reached the end of the city, and said, and he's thinking now all the things. My Rama, he used to sleep on a comfortable, soft bed, and that bed which is sprinkled with sandalwood essence, and he's fanned by many servants. And from now on, my son, he has to take a refuge at the foot of the tree somewhere, and he has to lie down at the base of a trunk, or he has to find some stone. And then again in the morning, he has to wake up from that hard earth, which is full of dust, just as a bull is rising from the ground. And he's saying that, from today onwards, all the inhabitants of the forest, they will see Rama rising up in the morning from the ground and wandering like an orphan in the forest. And daughter of Janaka, who was always accustomed to comforts, she will wander in the forest through the thorny bushes, and she'll become exhausted. Sita Devi was not earlier accustomed to these forests. So from now on, they're going to live like a terror. Live in a terror. Yeah. So hearing those, just thinking of those, again he became unconscious. And at last, finally, he says, Kaikeyi, let your desire be fulfilled. And you dwell in the kingdom as a widow, because I don't wish to survive anymore without Rama. So crying and lamenting like this, Kausalya Devi, she went back to her chambers. Now Dasharatha Maharaj was there outside. So he requested his servants, please take me to the Kausalya Devi's chambers. So then, his attendants, they brought Dasharatha Maharaj to Kausalya Devi's palace, and he was gently laid on a couch. Then Dasharatha Maharaj's heart again became agitated. And he's lamenting, Rama, you have left us both, your mother and I. And then he said, Sukhita batatam kalam jivishyanti nara uttamaha parishvajantaha ye ramam drakshyanti punaragatam. He said, I don't think so, I live long. But those who survive, jivishyanti nara uttamaha, those who survive these 14 years, they are the greatest people, narottamaha. Because they will see Rama coming back and they can embrace him once he comes back. Such people are the best of the humanity. And they will be very happy. Sukhita bata. Sukhita means very happy. So why did he use this word jivishyanti? Because when the Lord left the kingdom, actually the life force of his devotees should also have gone and they should have fallen dead. But they are very strong. So even in separation of the Lord, like every moment will be like a very long period. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha praprashayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like a yuga, a millennium. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. This is the exact feeling that all the Ayodhya Vasis, the citizens of Ayodhya, they were having. And Dasharatha Maharaj was the epitome of this feeling. So Dasharatha Maharaj said, Ramam menugata drushtiradhyapena nivartate natvam pashyami kausalye sadhumam paninas prasha. So he's saying, Kausalya, my eyesight has gone with Rama and it has not returned. And even now, I'm unable to see you properly. I'll not be able to see Rama before I die. Neither he can touch me before my death. So can you please touch me with your hand so that if you touch me, I'll feel as if Rama is touching me. So now Kausalya Devi was also greatly afflicted by this grief. So looking at Dasharatha Maharaj, she asks the questions. She says, you see, Maharaj, this Kaikeyi is like a poisonous serpent, and she has infused the poison into Rama by biting him. And now she's freely roaming around the palace. And then she will start torturing me. It would have been better if I had given my son to her as a slave in this city. Not banishing. Even if my son would have become a slave in the city, I would have been very happy because he would have stayed at the house at least, and I will see him daily by doing some menial service, and he'll be roaming about in the city. I should have given him as a slave. So by this time, Rama, and he says by this time, Rama would have entered the forest. And I'm not sure what all they have to undergo there. They have to face many troubles, undergo many sufferings, which they have never experienced. So she's crying to the Lord, when will that time come when I will see Rama again with his wife and brother returning here. And she says, looks like in my past life, the teats of the cows, that means the nipples of the cow's udder, looks like I have cut them. They were cut off by me while their calves wanted to suck the milk from them. And that's why I'm getting all this this pain. See, if you understand this, 14 years is not at all a big deal for the kings and prince, or especially in the Treta Yuga. Their life is 10,000 years, the average life expectancy there in that yuga. So when a prince, when he goes to a Gurukul, they spend many years learning under the Guru. Even when a king goes for a Dandayatra, when he goes to conquer many other kingdoms, they fight wars at various places, and it takes many years for them to return to their capital. So you see, or when the king visits his best friend or very dear relative, they do stay in their places for a few years. Just how like Shatrughna and Bharata, they went to Yudhajit's house, to his uncle's house, and stayed there for years. So it's not a big deal. Prabhupada also mentions in Krishna book that when Lord Balarama and Krishna, they chase Shatadhanya. Shatadhanya, he murdered the father of Satyabhama. Satyabhama is the wife of Krishna. So they chased both Krishna and Balaram, they chased Shatadhanva to kill him. And by chasing, they reached the Mithila city, and he was killed in this Videha kingdom, the same city of Sita Devi. And after killing, Balarama said that this king, Janaka Maharaj, is a very close friend to him. So he said, I will live here for some time. And it's mentioned that Balarama lived there for several years. So it's a common thing for kings to go out for years. But then why did Kausalya, Dasharatha Maharaj, and all these Ayodhya Vasis are lamenting like this? Because of separation. The same thing even would happen even in the Dwarka. Every time Krishna goes out, they all become depressed. And when he returns, they all feel that their life has come back. So Kausalya Devi is lamenting for Rama. And now Sumitra, that is wife of the second principal wife of Dasharatha Maharaj, or the wife of Lakshmana, she comes. Sumitra also comes, and she tries to pacify Kausalya. She's saying, why are you lamenting like this? Don't cry. Your son is blessed with so many powers. He has many weapons, many missiles, astras and shastras. They're all under his control. He has mighty strength. He made his father to stand on his word. He is a great follower of Dharma. And now he's accompanied. He's not alone there. He's accompanied by Sita and Lakshmana. And my son Lakshmana, he will do all the services to your son Rama. Your son, he is capable of securing or ruling any place on this earth. Knowing the greatness or the purity of Rama, even son Suryadev, even he will not torment Rama's body with his rays. He will, a delightful, very cooling breeze will always be blowing from the woods all the time. So the breeze will always render some service to Rama. So then the various prowess of Rama was, Sumitra Devi was trying to explain all that and pacify Kausalya. And he's saying, Kausalya Devi, don't worry. Let me tell you, you will see Rama returning to Ayodhya after completing his term. So she tried to console her. And Kausalya Devi also felt little better. So this is one parallel story happening. Now let me explain the second parallel story. So now we understood Rama and Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they were leaving the city, and all the citizens are crying out loud. They started following the chariot, and they're all telling to each other, let us all follow Rama. We will all stay with him only. Let all of us take our kids, wives, mothers, fathers, elders, cows. Let's abandon our houses immediately and let's follow Rama. And they are thinking, when we all live, Dasharath Maharaj, he will also leave and he will come with us. Then all his wives also will follow him and they will come with us. Then the army will come because the king has coming, then army will follow. So we will all occupy the forest and abandon the city. And all the dangerous animals which were there in the forest, they will abandon the forest and come to Ayodhya and let Kaikeyi and her son, let them nicely rule. So like this, they were all talking and they were following Rama. So some of them, they could not catch up to Lord Rama's chariot because it was going little fast, because they were elderly people and all that. No, they could only follow to some distance, but they could not follow far. So some of them, only some of them, they returned, but many of them, they were continuing to run behind the chariot. So Rama gazed at them, those who were following him, and he spoke to them just as if they are his children, because for a king or for a prince, even the citizens are the children, own children. So he said, my dear citizens, whatever the respect and affections that you are showing towards me for my satisfaction, you please bestow the same feelings and such affection even more towards my brother Bharata. When he returns, you give him the same respect. Bharata, he has excellent conduct. He will be very pleasing. He will do all beneficial things to you. Bharata Maharaj is very matured. He has got very good behavior, high moral standards. He can become your king. And he can drive away all your fears. So now he will be your king, and king's command is to be carried out by me and the rest of you. So if you all desire to please me, see to it that Bharata does not suffer any agony while have gone to the forest. Yatha yatha dasharathir dharmam eva asthitah abhavat tatha tatha prakrataye ramam patim akamayan. Yatha yatha dasharathir dharmam. The more and more Rama is showing himself to be so faithful to his duty, so truthful to the word given by his father, more and more people are wishing him. Tatha prakrataye. More and more the people are wishing him to be as their king. So as he's talking, it is not helping them, or it is not helping Rama what he wants to do. So in fact, they are becoming more and more attracted towards him. So they did not stop. In fact, they even continued even more faster, like they ran even more faster. So Rama, he asked Sumantra, you ride faster. And as Sumantra was riding the faster, then old Brahmanas, they were running behind the Ratha to catch up with the speed. And they were shouting, Sumantra, please stop. Rama, he deserves to come back, brought back, not to be taken to the forest. So seeing those Brahmanas uttering such painful words, Rama, he quickly got down from the chariot. And then Rama with Sita and Lakshmana, along with all the Ayodhya Vasis, they proceeded on foot towards the forest. Brahmanyam kritsnam etat tvam brahmanyam anugachati dvijaskandha adhirudhaha tvam agnayo api anuyanti ami. So they were thinking, all Brahmanas were thinking, oh, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they got down from the chariot, so they might be returning back. But when they saw that Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they got down, but they still perceived to go towards the forest. Then again, Brahmanas were all perplexed. They were in distress. And they were telling to Rama, Rama, you see, this whole Brahmana community is following you because you're so much devoted to us. We all love you. And do you see them? They are holding the fire sacrifices on their shoulders and they are walking. Now, what is this fire sacrifice walking? See, in every Brahmana, they're called Agnihotrikas. Okay, it is not prescribed now, but in the previous yuga, there are Agnihotrikas. That means Nitya Agnihotrikas. Every day they would always do fire sacrifice. Okay, and wherever they go, they take some burning coal with them in a pot. The fire, they would take it because that fire is considered to be very sacred, because every day they worship and they don't let that fire go away. The house, the head of the house, the wife, they make sure that fire is never put out. They keep even after the fire sacrifice is over, the Brahmanis, the wives of the Brahmanas, they keep adding to it something or the other throughout the day, so that the fire keeps almost always lighting. And when such Brahmanas, Nityagnihotrikas, when they travel also, they don't abandon that fire. They take some part of that fire in a pot and then they travel. So Brahmanas are saying, you see them, they are holding these fire sacrifices on their shoulders, and then they're running behind you. See what kind of love they had. All the Brahmanas, the Brahmanis, the citizens of Ayodhya, everyone. And they said, you see these white umbrellas on our backs? We are holding, right? So we got these umbrellas after performing great yajnas like Vajpayee yajna. And my dear Rama, you don't have any umbrella. You're walking under the scorching sun rays. So what we'll do with our umbrellas, we shall give you the shade. Normally it is the king who should serve the Brahmanas. But here the love is so much that they forgot who is who. That is the love of Godhead. They're saying, we will serve you. We just want to serve you. We carry all the Vedas in our hearts as our treasure and will come behind you. And our wives, because they will remain at home, don't worry. They'll be protected by their character. The character will protect them. This is our decision. We are not going to revoke our decision. Our mind is fully determined to go along with you to the forest. But we all beg you to come back. And they're trying to tell, you see, all the fire sacrifice have started already in the that means the worship has started in the city. And their completion depends on you. If you return, then our yajnas will immediately be completed. But if you don't return, then we have to abandon our sacrifice throughout that exile period. They're trying to convince him to come back, basically. And like this, they were all saying, please show some affection to all the devotees who are begging you to return. And, the trees of Ayodhya, they are held by their roots. right? And they are unable to accompany Rama, and they are weeping. They are thinking, what kind of life we have got, that our no, we are stuck here with our of the roots. If we had, even we could have moved along with Rama. Birds, they are Brahmanas are saying, you see, the birds are sitting motionless. Rama, have you seen, all the birds are sitting motionless? They're all waiting for your return. Normally, by nature, they're supposed to go and search for food, but they're not doing that. So please return. If you don't listen to us, then who else will listen? So as they were trying to convince Rama in this way, by this time they all reached the banks of Tamasa River. Okay, from Sarayu River is where Ayodhya is, and then Lord Rama, he went towards the Tamasa, another river. By this time they reached the banks of Tamasa River, but Ramachandra, he stood very strong on his word. See, it is a general thing that you all have to follow the instructions given by a bona fide Brahmana, okay, or bona fide spiritual master. But now you see here that Rama is not following. Why? Because when there is a confusion or conflict between the two dharmas to be followed, then the higher dharma, which is the dharma which is higher, that takes the precedence. Small example. We all know that cow is one of the mothers. Okay, the 7 mothers, cow is one of the mother. We are all supposed to protect the cow. And there is another dharma, that no one should speak lie. We should always be truthful. These are the 2 dharmas. Now imagine, in the villages, so people sit outside or in their porch, right on, and then as a person was sitting on his porch and he saw that one person, he's chasing a cow to slaughter. So that cow, somehow it ran faster, and it came it came before, and then that what do you call him, what's his name, slaughtering person, 1 minute.
Butcher.
Butcher, correct. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. So if the butcher is following, he was at a very far distant, and this cow suddenly it entered into this person's house, and the butcher couldn't see where that went, and he came running, and he asked this person, have you seen my cow? It came running this side. I don't know where it went. Did you see? So dharma is to say, yes, I have seen it. It's gone into my house. What will happen after that? It will go inside. He will go inside. He will catch hold of that cow. He'll bring it. He will take it to the slaughterhouse and kill. But if he does not say, no, yeah, I have seen it. It has gone the other way. And he shows the wrong path. And he protects the cow. As per the Shastras, if you talk, immediately that person must be killed. The butcher, he cannot kill a cow. That's what Parikshit Maharaj did when he saw that Kali Purusha was taking took a form of a human, and then he was trying to kill the cow, bull. Immediately, Parikshit Maharaj came there to chastise him, to kill him directly. But if a person is not that capable, then what to do? Had it been a Kshatriya, he will immediately subdue him. So what one will do? That either he has to lie or he has to tell the truth. So at this time, which dharma takes the precedence? Which is the higher dharma? The higher dharma is to save the life of the cow. So in that situation, it is perfectly okay. In fact, you should lie. If you don't lie at that time, then again you will have the sins. You will be partaking in the sin of killing a cow, killing your own mother. That is the verdict. So one should be intelligent to understand what is a higher dharma and what is a lower dharma. At the time of conflict, you should take the higher dharma should take the precedence. If you are if you're confused, you don't know what is what, you should approach your guru. That's what the spiritual masters are. So now that we all have Prabhupada books, we all read, automatically we'll get the answer. If you don't get it, ask a senior devotee. And we also have Sundar Gopal Prabhu's question and answer sessions. So ask the question there. Okay. So similarly, now the higher dharma here is for to keep the word of Dasharatha Maharaj, to make him abide by the boons he has given to Kaikeyi. So although the Brahmanas were asking him to return, he stood firmly. Then after that, they all reached the banks of Tamasa, and by this time it was little evening, by night. And Sumantra, the charioteer, he released the tired horses also from the chariot. He allowed them to take graze on the banks of Tamasa. They drank some water and their bodies were washed. Now Rama spoke to Lakshmana. So he says, Lakshmana, we have been exiled to forest, and today is our first night out of our residence. The first night in the forest. So now all the people in Ayodhya, they will be lamenting about us that we have departed. There's no doubt about it. And I'm feeling very bad for my father and mother. I feel that they will become blind by weeping continuously. But my brother, I think our brother Bharata, he's a very virtuous man. He can console our father and mother with very kind words. So Lakshmana, thinking of our brother Bharata, thinking about his kindness again and again, I'm feeling little pacified. I'm not grieving for our father and mother. Tvaya karyam naravyaghram mam anuvrachata kritam anveshtva hi vaidehya rakshana arthe sahayata. Lakshmana, you have done a very good thing by accompanying me, because I would need help for protecting Sita Devi. And here I see that there are so many wild fruits which are here, but for tonight, I'll just take some water. Then Rama spoke to Sumantra, dear minister, you please nicely take care of the horses. They are very tired. You give them abundant grass. You do all that. Then Sumantra, he did all those, and immediately after the finishing, he stood next to Rama. And as the sun was setting, quickly Sumantra and Lakshmana, they made a bed of leaves. Okay, that too, you write. What even Lakshmana did was, he used to take big leaves and turn them, like flip their ends inside and stitch it with a under small stick, so that only the middle part of the soft part of the leaf is above. Like that, he stitched and he made a bed. So a bed of leaves. So on that, Rama and Sita, they laid down. And all the Ayodhya Vasis also, they were slowly walking. They all came there, and they also became very tired after running and after walking a long distance. So they also took rest on the banks of Tamasa River. So the banks were also, it was crowded, not only with people, even with domestic animals like cows and other animals. It was fully crowded because the people brought their entire families also, and the cows also. Now Lakshmana and Sita, now Lakshmana, he saw that his brother and his wife, they are sleeping on such a leaf, and tears were rolling out from his eyes. And so he started remembering all the great things of Lord Rama, and he was telling to Sumantra. He could not sleep at all, and he was awake the whole entire night. Actually, so many nights Lakshmana was awake, protecting Sita Rama. So that night, Rama, he passed there with the citizens. And the next day morning, during the Brahma Muhurta time, very early morning hours, which is very auspicious, Rama woke up from his leaf bed. He looked at the citizens. He saw Lakshmana was still awake, and he told Lakshmana, these citizens, without even worrying about their homes and families back in Ayodhya, they are following us. And they have become very tired, that they all are in deep sleep. So, from the way they are trying to persuade us to take us back to Ayodhya, either by force or threat, it looks like they are even ready to lay down their lives. But in any case, we cannot give up our determination. So what we should do, we should quickly mount the chariot, quietly leave this place, and disappear. In this way, citizens, when they all wake up in the morning, they will not see us. They don't know where we have gone, so they will go back. And these citizens, they don't have to sleep at the roots of the trees again and again, because they all have taken shelter at the tree trunks. They should be made free of their sufferings. So this is how the rulers are. They're thinking even for the comforts of every citizen. He mainly makes sure that the citizens are comfortable enough, materially comfortable enough to perform the devotional service. It is the duty of the king to make sure that every citizen in his country is advancing spiritually. So Lakshmana also agreed, and immediately Sumantra, he kept the chariot ready. Then Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sumantra, they all ascended the chariot. They took all the necessaries like bow, armor, quiver, spade, basket, shovel, and they crossed the Tamasa river quietly. Okay, the river was a little shallow, but the water was flowing very fast, and there were many whirlpools also. Akula Avritam, whirlpools were there. So then after crossing the river, then Rama spoke to Sumantra. But Sumantra, you mount the chariot, you go northwards towards Ayodhya. You proceed for a while quickly. Okay. And then you bring back the chariot again in a different route. So that all the citizens will think that Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they return to Ayodhya, because when they wake up, they wouldn't see them. Then they thought, okay, let's track the tracks of the prints of the chariot wheels on the ground. Let's follow that. Then they will see that, oh, this has gone towards Ayodhya. So they will all think that they have gone, oh, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they have returned to Ayodhya. So As instructed Sumantra, again he went back. He rode the chariot some distance northwards towards Ayodhya city, and after some distance, uh, he got down into some marshy land because it's all water, and then uh, from there they couldn't track. There are no tracks. And then quickly, Sumantra again took another route and came back to the other banks of other side of Tamasa river. So Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they again ascended the chariot and they started their journey towards the deep forest. So now, as the sun rose, all the citizens, they woke up. They were all shocked to see that Sita, Rama, Lakshmana have left. They're not there. So they started looking everywhere for them, but they couldn't find them. And they were covered with grief. So they started cursing their slumber, cursing their deep sleep. They were cursing because of this sleep, we missed Sita, Rama, Lakshmana. And they were lamenting, how could he leave us all? How can he abandon his devotees? And he went he went on exile to forests. And they said, let us all not go back, let us all die here only. See, this is what Rama, he has already, he warned that even they might threaten, by force or threat, they will try to convince us, Lakshmana. So let us not do that. And they were thinking, what is the purpose of our living when we are separated from Rama? So they are saying, there are so much of dry wood here. There are so many dry logs of wood here. So we shall all light a funeral fire out of them and let us all enter into the fire. Because if we return, what shall we say to our fellow citizens or our families? Because they could not come. So what will we tell them? They will say, oh, why did you first of all return home without Rama? They will say, you go into the forest. We don't care. So if we all return to Ayodhya without Rama, all the citizens, women, children, and aged, they will become very depressed. So lifting all their arms, the Brahmanas, the other citizens, they're all crying out loud. Just like a cow when its calf is dead or taken away. And amidst all that chaos, someone said, oh, we see the tracks of the chariot on the ground. It looks like the chariot has gone towards Ayodhya. So Sita, Rama, Lakshmana might have returned to Ayodhya. And immediately they all became very joyous. And with that hope, they all walked back towards Ayodhya. And after walking long some distance, they saw the tracks of chariot got disappeared. And again they were overwhelmed with grief. So lamenting like this, they all returned to Ayodhya. And as they entered the city, and they saw that people were continuously shedding tears. The same Ayodhya, which was very enchanting just 12 hours before, it was no more enchanting to them. It looked like, Valmiki Maharshi says that how they felt was, it looked like a sea without water, ocean without water. And the citizens, how they were entering their houses, and those houses were full of abundant riches. So the citizens could not distinguish between their own people and others. They could not even distinguish their house and others. They're entering into some or the other house, but they're not going into their house. And those people were looking at their people, at their own, at some people, and thinking that they are relatives or some, They have lost all the senses. So much they were grief stricken. And when finally, when they reached their own house, immediately they were surrounded by their sons and wives and everyone, and they asked what happened. And they said, together, everyone again they were lamenting. The businessman, he stopped doing the business. The lady of the house did not attend to any household duties like cooking, nothing. And women in every house, they express their disappointment with a very sharp words to their husbands who came home without Rama. They are saying, Kim nutesham grihaihi karyam kim daraihi kim dhanena va putraihi va kim sukhaihi va apiyena pashyanti raghavam. They are saying the people who do not see Rama or serve Rama, or who is going to serve such people will not be served by their wife or wealth or sons or even pleasures. You came back to Ayodhya without Rama. From today onwards, we are not going to serve you. Are you not shameful to return like this? So this is all, their love towards Rama. Okay, never in that yuga they would rebuke their chaste wife, would ever rebuke a husband like this. But they had so much love that they didn't, for the sake of Rama, they were ready to do anything. If in every house such a devotee lady or a wife is there, then imagine automatically all the sons and husbands, they'll become great devotees. And indirectly, actually, they are saying, why do you think that we are all serving you? Only because you are serving Rama in some other capacity. If you are not serving him, automatically, then we will stop serving you. Then they continued, Eka satpurusho loke Lakshmana sahasitaya yo anugachati kakutstham Ramam paricharan vane. And they're saying, but in this world, there is only one good person. And who is that? He is Lakshmana. Because he is accompanying Rama and Sita, and he will be rendering all the service to them. Those rivers, those lotus ponds, lakes, mountains, they're going to be very fortunate because Rama will enter those waters to take bath, or he will visit that mountain. And all the mountain will respect Rama like a very dear guest. Even in an unseason, the mountains will nicely present, unseasonal flowers and fruits to Rama when he arrives. And that happened. Mountains will show various waterfalls with crystal clear waters and streams. And this is going to give pleasure to Sita Rama. And they are saying, Padachaya sukha bhartuhu tadyashasya mahatmanah sahinatho janasya asya sagatihi saparayanam. They're saying we all can be very peaceful and happy only at the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Rama. That itself, that will be the only way by which we can be very joyful. Rama, he's protector of all of us. He's a refuge and he's our supreme asylum. So they are saying, Sahishuraha Mahabahu Putraha Dasharathasya cha Pura Bhavati no Durat Anugachama Raghavam. They're saying Rama, see, it was only one day has passed. So Rama would have not gone too far into the forest. He has just passed only half a day. So let us all run after him now. The wives are saying this. This time we don't believe you all. You have failed in your service, in your duty. So what we will do? We will also come along with our sons. Everyone will come. We will again search for Rama. We'll go to their place. After reaching their place, what we will do as women, we will all serve Sita and you all attend Rama. Why they want to go together? Because again, if they send their husbands back into the forest, they will again return without finding Rama. So wives will be so the wives will be there next to them, so that even if husband's one becomes low in spirits or depressed, the wife next to him will encourage him and inspire him, so that they can continue searching Sita, Rama, Lakshmana. So whatever we all need in the forests, Rama will provide. Like as a man, whatever you need, Rama will provide. And similarly, Sita Devi will take care of all women folk. See, they're all surrendered souls to Ramachandra. See their faith in Sita Rama. And they're saying, who's going to stay in this city, which is going to be very fearful? People are with unstable minds. And if Kaikeyi is going to rule, then it will not be as per the dharma. It will be unlawful, illegal things will happen. So there will be no proper protector. There will be no use of our lives here. What to speak of our sons or our wealth? Can you tell us who else Kaikeyi will not abandon? See, Kaikeyi, she abandoned her own husband and the son for the sake of power. So she can abandon any of us. Then what is our condition? So we swear even by our sons that while Kaikeyi is surviving, and as long as we live, we will never inhabit this kingdom as Kaikeyi's servants. As her servants, we will never inhabit. Who will live under the rule of such a wicked woman? Without any leader, having no support, calamities will occur here. The whole kingdom will be ruined because of Kaikeyi's fault. And now Rama has gone into exile. Dasharatha Maharaj will not live long. He will die. And after that, only regretful situations will happen. It is certain. So the wives are saying, Te visham pibata alodhya kshina punyaha sudurgataha raghavam va anugachadvam ashritam va apigachata. So let us all drink poison right now. Why? Because good days are over and there will be only torture and ill fortune. So let's take a poison. Otherwise, let's all follow to Rama to the forest and reach their place. Or let us all go to some other place where even we can't even hear the name of Kaikeyi. And they're saying it looks, after Rama has been exiled along with Sita and Lakshmana deceitfully, it looks like, we all have been handed over to Bharata like the beast in the hands of a slaughterer or a butcher. Just imagine normal people in the Ayodhya, they are thinking like this. Imagine what is the condition of Rama's own parents, Dasharatha Maharaj and Kausalya. And now they're all thinking of Rama and they're glorifying him. Purna Chandranana Shyamo Godachatra Arindamaha Ajanubahu Padmaksho Ramo Lakshmana Purvajaha Purvabhibhashi Madhuras Satyavadi Mahabalaha Saumyaha Sarvasya Lokasya Chandravat Priyadarshanaha Nunam Purushardulo Matta Matanga Vikramaha Shobhayushyat Aranyani Vicharan Saha Maharataha. See, he's saying Purna Chandrananaha. Rama's face is like a full moon. His complexion is of like a dark cloud. When the lightning strikes a dark cloud, what is that bluish color comes, right? That is a complexion of Rama. Then his collarbone is very invisible because it's covered with the flesh and skin. He's conqueror of the foes. He has broad arms. His broad shoulders, his arms descend to his knees, his eyes are resembling like lotuses. So they were glorifying Rama. And by this time they were all cursing, talking, and it became night. And the women in the house, they were weeping in that manner about Rama. Sutaihi tasam adhiko hi so abhavat. So to them, Rama was dearer than their own sons. So that city of Ayodhya, the singing, the rejoicing, dancing, instrumental music, all had been completely set to rest. It looks like the joy had departed forever. Shops have been closed. Okay, so this, like this, that day, that night, by the time they all returned home and all became night, everyone, again, they didn't even properly sleep. They were lamenting, and they all fell on the ground wherever they are. They fell asleep there. Okay, so with this, I conclude today's call. 1 minute.